let's talk about what I'm reading in April. So during April, I plan on taking part in the Magical Orilium Readathon. I participated in years prior and I'm so excited to be doing this again. I've also decided, for some reason, that I want to do some Plinko Picks this month. I haven't done it in a while and I made this whole board a while back and I only used it a couple times. And I just want to use it again this month because apparently I'm a little self-destructive. Why not make a really ridiculous, ambitious, impossible TBR? You know, I just feel like it's the time. So let's start with the Plinko drops. I'm going to do 5 unless I get the same number 3 times, in which case I'll add another drop. But we're starting with 5. I feel like that's good enough because I'm gonna have to read at least 5 books for the Magical Readathon as well, so. And hopefully I can make some of these books fit both Plinko and the Readathon. Yeah? Yeah. I did just fill this with some random prompts. I usually use the ones in my last Plinko video, whatever it ends up on. Because I hadn't done it in a while, I decided to just randomize it all over again, start from scratch. Let's get my first prompt. 5. TBR redo. So TBR redo is where I go through some of my old TBRs and find something that I meant to read that was on my TBR and that I didn't finish it. It's like a TBR mulligan. So I'm gonna check out my own YouTube page and try to find something. I haven't done a TBR video since November. Was there anything in this I didn't read? Okay, and then the one before that was September. Clearly I'm great at this. What's in this? Oh, I actually finished all that. Wow, look at me finishing a TBR. All right, I'm gonna read This Is How You Lose the Time War. I started this, but only got a couple pages in, so I don't even really consider it being DNF'd. I just literally barely started it. This is about the future. Oh! Aha! I can cross this over with my fucking Magical Readathon TBR. Okay! Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so this is about a future in which there are kind of like 2 governing factions who are in a war against each other. Let's just call them the blue and red. I think that might actually be accurate from the book. And they each have these soldiers. They might be robots, I cannot remember, or like AI of some sort. And they're from opposing forces. And they start like writing each other letters, like taunting letters, being like, haha, my side's better, but then they fall in love. I've heard amazing things about it. It was going over my head in the moment that I tried to pick it up, and so I'm excited to try it again. I actually do think I might like this. And it works for my Magical Readathon TBR, because I need to take Psionics and Divination, which the prompt for that is books set in the future. So this book will fit in there. That was on my April TBR from 2020. So 2 full years later, I will finally read it. This was actually a book I picked for my Owls Magical Readathon back when this was Harry Potter themed. Wow. Okay, coming full circle. All right, let's pull a new prompt to fill that in. Underhyped. Time for drop number 2. 6. Blank page count. So this is going to include a random number generator. And I'm going to put, let's say, between 50 and 1,000. And whatever that number is, I'm going to look for that page number in a book. However many pages the book has. And I'm going to say it has to be within 10 pages because I don't want to get too specific. I feel like that'll be impossible. For random page count, I got the number 431, which means, given my rule about being 10 pages away, so I can read something within 421 pages or 441 pages, because those are both 10 away from 431. So I'm gonna go on Goodreads and see what comes up when I search by page count. I could read You by Caroline Kepnes, which is definitely one of those books that I've put off for way too long. There's a bunch of Michael Crichton books, which I forgot I put on here. All right. For this, I am going to be reading You by Caroline Kepnes. This is 424 pages according to Goodreads. This is a book I've put off for way too long. I know that everyone knows what this is about. Everyone has watched the TV series or read the book. I have not done either of those things. This is basically about a guy who stalks a girl and makes her fall in love with him by manipulating her and getting rid of anyone else in her life. I love that idea. I love the idea of being in like shitty people's minds and watching them and the twisted way they think. I don't love the way people have romanticized Joe. I haven't even read the book yet, and that already irritates me. But, you know, maybe I'll come around and absolutely love him. I fucking hope not, but I'm ready to see what the hype is all about. Let's fill that in with horror. Time for drop number 3. 3. Blank word titles. So this is very similar to the last one. I'm going to use a random number generator, but for this I'm going to put between 1 and 10. I feel like that's a good number. And then I have to find that many words in the title of the book. So for random word count, I got 5. So for that, I'm going to read Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. I've been wanting to read this for so long. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle was one of my favorite books I read last year. I just like want to read that second book so bad. I honestly don't know what it's about. I think it's pretty similar to Evelyn Hardcastle. I believe it's about a murder mystery on a boat, and I think there's still some sort of magical aspect of time or something. I'm honestly so stoked about this. And this does fit in with my magical readathon prompts because one of the things I need to do is astronomy. And the prompt for that is the book at the top of your TBR. And this is there, baby. I can't wait to read this. I fully expect that I'm gonna give it 5 stars because like Stuart Turton's first book just blew me away. And we'll fill that in with treat. So something that I consider a treat. Normally, that's smut. All right, so my 4th drop, second to last. Horror. Pretty easy. For horror, I'm gonna stretch it a little bit and read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I don't necessarily know if this is a horror. I wouldn't consider anything else Riley Sager has written as horror. I would call it strictly thriller. But this is under horror in Goodreads, so I'm using it. I read the first 3 books that Riley Sager put out under this pseudonym, and I've always meant to get to this one but never have. I'm going to be buddy reading this with my friend Amber because I know she's interested in it as well, and she finally got it out from her library. And after this, honestly, I might be done with Riley Sager. This is the deciding factor for me. I've liked his books, but I don't think they're as good as the hype makes them sound. I really liked The Last Time I Lied, and that was probably the best I've seen from him. I think that a lot of the times if you see his twist coming, the rest of the book falls apart because he doesn't write complex and interesting enough characters. I feel like everyone knows what Home Before Dark is. I actually don't, really. I think it's like her dad believes that their old house was haunted and the daughter's now grown up and she decides to go back to the house and like spooky things happen. Something along those lines. Whatever, I'm gonna read it and we'll see how I feel. It would be great if it was a surprise and I absolutely loved it. And we'll fill that in with fave author. So this should be my last drop unless I get the number 6. Other than that, we're fine. 0. Or, nope, the end symbol. I get those mixed up every fucking time. I don't know why I put the 0 over here. It should have went over there. I'm terrible about starting series and never finishing them. So this is great. This will force me to at least get farther in a series. For sequel, I've decided that I'm going to read the next book in the original Sinners series. This is my favorite romance series ever. I have read 6 out of 9 books. Is that true? Yes. So for sequel, I'll be reading the 7th book in this series called The Virgin. This series follows Eleanor Sutherland and her exploits as an acclaimed erotic writer and dominatrix. The first 4 books in the series really follow her life in the present day, whereas the next 4 books in the series are kind of the prequels. It shows the story of how all these characters got to the point in the first couple books, and like, I love these characters with my whole heart and soul. I've been trying to like slowly make my way through them because when I run out, I'm going to be so fucking sad. So this is the 7th out of 9, and I'm very excited to get to it. This follows Nora when she finally runs away from Soren and runs away from the underground and decides to hole up with her mom in a convent where she meets a young virgin and has a sexual awakening. And like, if this is her exploring her bisexuality, I'm gonna be so happy, because honestly, one of the things that drives me nuts in erotica books is when they all talk about how a character is bisexual, and yet none of these books seem to show it. And don't get me wrong, like, you can be bisexual and only actually have sex with one gender, or only have fallen in love with one gender, because like, your experience does not define your sexuality. It's just that it's a trend in erotica books, and that's what bugs me. So those are my Plinko picks for the month. So let's talk a little bit about the Magical Readathon. Now, I have done all of the reading prompts up until this point, so I am finished with my character. I have geared up, I have chosen my guild. So for this readathon, I need to choose my character's career. And so for this, I've chosen Rift Architect. This has 5 courses, 5 prompts. I feel like that's a good number for me. Like I said, if I can get some to fit with Plinko and this, I'm golden. So while I'm at Orilium, the other courses I need to take are Inscription, Spells and Incantation, and Conjuration. We've already got Astronomy and Psionics Divination figured out. So my next one is Inscription, in which I need to read an intimidating read. So for this, I have decided to go with A Little Life by Hanya Yanigahara. Yeah, there's nothing more intimidating to me than this massive tome of a meltdown. I'm actually gonna be reading this for a vlog. When you'll see that, I have no idea. But hopefully I can at least finish this book within this month. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, truly. For Spells and Incantation, the prompt is essays or short stories. I do not do short stories, I refuse. I've tried before, it doesn't go well at all. So I've decided instead to go with essay collection, and I'm going to read Not That Bad, edited by Roxanne Gay. I read a different essay collection by Roxanne Gay in which she wrote all the essays, and it was really good. I really enjoy her writing as well as her dissection of pop culture. It just really works for me. This, I believe, has a bunch of people contributing, but she's the one who kind of collected these stories together. And this is all centered around people's experience with rape culture. That's a topic I am really interested in. I am kind of over right now seeing fictional rape play out in YA, but I still am very interested in the rape culture aspects and how our society kind of allows these things to happen and allows men to get away with it, allows women to get away with it, and just the way it affects victims. Then the last course is Conjuration, and the prompt for that is Source of Light on the cover. So for this, I'm going to be reading Fire in His Blood by Ruby Dixon. This is a dragon shapeshifter romance. I'm going to be reading this for a paranormal reading vlog. I've actually already read 3 of the books for that reading vlog. This is one I haven't started yet. You will hopefully see that vlog maybe in April. That would be nice. The only other thing I know for sure I'm reading this month is The Innocent Wife by Amy Lloyd. That will also be for a reading vlog. That one you should see this month. I'm terrible at vlogging. But regardless, hopefully that one you will see this month, because I am reading that book next week with my friend. So that should get read. That is about a girl who falls in love with a guy who's in prison, and then he gets out, and now she's wondering, like, is he really innocent? I think that's what it's about. Anyways, those are my reading plans for this month. I actually do have more reading plans beyond this, but they're all for vlogs that you probably won't see for a lifetime, so we're all just hoping for the best here. Who knows if I'll actually get all this stuff read. I want to at least prioritize the Magical Readathon stuff for this month, because those are the important ones, but that Hanya Yanigahara book is gonna kill me. Let me know if you're participating in the Magical Readathon. I'm very interested to hear about your characters, what careers you chose. I love this readathon. I just think it's so much fun. G has done such a good job of putting it together. And I hope you liked this video, and I hope we'll be back again soon. Bye.